It's Olivia
and Charlie
from the local lowdown, and we're here with Elemantra at BJ's.
So introduce yourselves and what you play in the band.
I'm Justin. I play the guitar and I sing.
Hi, I'm Jonah. I play the drums and I do some backing vocals.
My name's Brent. I play guitar.
Cool. You guys mentioned on stage, but the last show you played at BJ's was the last show before the pandemic. What's it like coming back?
It's less scary.
It is?
Yeah.
What was it like back then?
Uncertain. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, because everything was shutting down. We before the show, it was like when our friends Frame and Mantle were playing. Like I was like checking my phone to like get updates on the world.
Yeah.
And there was a basketball game that was going on, and like well, first of all, Tom Hanks got COVID that night, and that's when like it was kind of like, oh man, this is.
That's when it hit.
Yeah, for real. And then it was like there was a basketball game that at tip off. Well, am I not 4 chicken fingers from? Okay. Right before tip off, like a ref came, and like I was watching the video. A ref came and like stopped the game. He's like, someone in this arena has COVID. We got to stop the game. And I was like, we're in like a packed bar. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna die tonight. Oh, someone definitely did. Yeah.
For sure. Someone had a cold that day.
But that was before we knew anything about it, and we were to set this rock show that had been booked months ahead of time.
Yeah.
And we were going to go through with it, and everyone was here, so. But I don't know. The vibe obviously tonight was a lot different. It felt like that night was like, here's our last chance for like everybody here. Like, we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But this time, just felt like a show. I don't know.
May I add context really
Yeah.
quick? Just for context, like 3 hours before load-in was when they announced that they were closing all SUNY schools the following day.
That's
So
crazy.
people were kind of just piling in, in droves. Getting their last beer in before the world was, shutting down indefinitely.
Wow.
But we didn't even know. I mean,
I think it was
Yeah.
announced that day.
well, yeah, but I was under the assumption like, oh man, we're going to have to like sit inside for 3 weeks and it's going to suck. But, we'll get this thing.
Little did you know.
Little did I know that was the last show we'd play for over a year.
Wow. Well, again, you
So-
guys are so back. You're
Yeah.
so back.
I guess.
All right, you guys have done gigs all over the place, from playing at Creek House in 2017 to playing Revolution Gallery with 100 Plus Club this past June.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite venue that you've performed at?
In history?
Yeah, ever.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Canada Way, yeah.
Yeah.
Canada Way was good.
Yeah, so my old apartment when I went to college in Fredonia, it was the venue. People were like begging us to play there all the time. It was at the corner of Canada Way, right on the creek there.
Oh, Canada
and
Way
we would
has
pack
changed.
the basement, the whole backyard would be filled. Like there was not enough space for everyone.
Wow.
And those were some of the most fun shows we ever played. We had okay sound there. We were doing what we could, obviously, as broke college kids, but I feel like those were some of the best shows that we ever played. I'm not saying they were the best shows, though. They were a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
if you want to remark on something else that we played that was a ton of fun. I mean, BJ's is always a
Yeah.
blast, There's never a bad turnout at BJ's.
Naturally.
Yeah, college kids love to come out and watch music. So
Oh, yeah.
Stay out late.
I think our current favorite place is Black Dot's probably, right?
Yeah, Black Dots in Buffalo is a record store. It's very like low key, you just set up your amps, you play, you run the vocals through a PA. It's just very raw. And the people are there because they want to hear music. It's not like there's no other reason to be there. You just love music. We got our start in Erie many years ago. There's a really cool venue there. We loved it. Kind of gave us our first opportunity, called Basement Transmissions. But other than that, yeah, I mean, BJ's, Canada Way, Creek House.
Black Dots has been really good to us.
Yeah, Black Dots has been awesome.
All right.
Were there any cool names of the old house venues? I always hear crazy
man,
names.
We've played some weird ones.
There was a
Specifically Fredonia?
yeah.
Oh, Fredonia.
There's one on, was it on Day Street? We played that. That was like 2019 when we played that.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
I don't remember it.
Oh yeah.
The Lighthouse, run by my good friend Dakota and some other people, Davey Carls. They were all SRT majors, so they had
Yeah.
I'm going to refrain from swearing here, a really, really good sound system there. They were all
Yeah.
SRTs, and the sound was great there. They had a little bar built into the basement. They didn't even put it in there. There
That
was
is
already a
so
bar in the
cool.
basement.
It was meant to be.
That was Day Street, yes. The Lighthouse, fantastic spot. Played there a couple times. It was only once, yeah, okay.
But it was
I mean,
so good, it felt like a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. Brent's house on Canada Way for a couple years there was great. And I lived at the Creek House and I booked some shows
House.
there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call it that name because, well, no, I shouldn't say that.
I could put in the dolphin noise.
Yeah, when we first came to Fredonia, it was just called the Maple House, and then it transitioned into the North Pole Strip Club. That's a classic venue here in Fredonia, New York.
I didn't know it was called that.
What was it called? The dentist's office.
That is so cool.
Yeah, my friend Max was booking shows there. We never played there, but that was a good spot to see shows for like a semester there. I think I want to say it was called the dentist's office.
Yeah.
Any others?
These are giving me
The Jungle
good
died
ideas.
before
The
we got
Jungle,
here.
yes. So the
Jungle?
Jungle, that's a classic. That was, I mean,
The floor fell through.
I hate to date us here, but it was 10 years ago. The Jungle was there. It fell through my
Wow.
first semester, my freshman year. The floor caved in, so they stopped doing shows.
That is so cool. I think all we have right now is the toy box in BJ's venues. Yes.
May I ask, where is the toy box? Nobody else is doing house shows?
No one else is doing house shows.
Do you have a basement? Either of you have a basement?
We're in dorms.
Oh.
We're trying though. We're
Get out
trying
there.
to scout it out.
I know that the Weathers might say otherwise was living there, and that's
Yep.
the last I knew about it. I
That
don't know
was
if
the
anybody
last
took
that
it over
happened.
after that.
Yep.
Someone needs to get Canada Way House back on track.
Yep.
It's like all frat now.
I know
It
that
so is.
the fellas in Relentless Moisture, they were living at the Creek House for a
Yep.
while. I know they were doing shows there last
Running
year.
it out of one grounded outlet.
That's correct.
Yeah, we-
I know
we
that.
had
that
I know that. Yeah, literally earlier
Really?
today we were talking about how we ran the whole thing off of one outlet that had ground.
Yeah.
Treacherous situation, but a great time nonetheless.
Yeah. Creek House shows were really fun last semester, but they graduated.
I'm glad
so-
that y'all were experiencing the fun times at the Creek House.
Yeah, hopefully we can get it back.
Yeah. Move in next year. Don't
I'll
actually.
think
It's a terrible place to live. Yeah. Not a good place to live.
To reel it in a little bit, in 2022, you guys released an EP called Only Momentary that consists of 6 songs that are extremely melodic and flow very well together. One of my favorites off this project is Through White Noise. How did you make that song, and what was the process behind it? I'm curious.
Is there anything you want to know specifically about it?
Just anything you can give me.
I think thematically, the song was, because a lot of that material I wrote, like during the COVID lockdown stuff, and we were kind of secluded, so we couldn't practice as a band. So I was writing a lot of material, like Habit Forming, No Shadow, Through White Noise. What else is even on
Flow.
that? Feel Flow. That was written after, though.
Yes.
That was the last song written for that. And same with Truth and Time. No, Truth and Time was written way before
Time in
COVID.
Classic World where we played at the last beat.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I guess 3 of those songs that were written during the lockdown stuff. But Through White Noise, I think, was kind of like, geez, I don't even know. It's hard to put myself back into that like headspace.
Yeah, it's a bit ago.
Like when I hear that song, it's like I don't even know what the song's about, but I feel it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, because I think it was like the most sober I had been in so long, and I felt strange because of that. And it was like this, it was like trying to find clarity through like just this, absurd time, and like trying to ground yourself
Yeah.
with, everyday routine. And musically, I don't know. It's just kind of the same stuff that we always listen to.
Is that
was
how your
influenced
songs
it.
usually come together? Like you come up with an idea and then you pitch it to everybody else, or does that kind of
Yeah.
flip-flop around?
I don't know. I think we have a pretty collaborative writing space.
Especially post-pandemic, right? Like,
Yeah, definitely post-pandemic. I feel like we'll have like this grab bag of riffs, or like I'll have this like one central idea and a loose structure, and like, I'll bring it to the guys, and we'll fool around with it. Sometimes it'll be more concrete and like, you know, it's like, I want it this way and we play it this way.
Yeah.
But other times it's like, you know what, this didn't work. Let's try to do this or let's chop this. And then, you know, a lot of times Brent will have a really good riff and it's like, well, where do we go from here? We want to use this, but so we kind of take a few days and work it out. But Through White Noise specifically, I think was a song that I had for a long time. And then when we finally got able to practice together, we, you know, kind of worked it out, tweaked it a little bit, and Brent added his own flair, and obviously Jonah played his own drum parts, and Nick, our bass player, who isn't with us anymore, but he always had a lot to say about songs. So, yeah, I don't know, that song and the sample at the beginning is a Werner Herzog sample that I watched that movie for like a film class I took at UB, and the movie just really moved me, and that one specific quote I really loved. So I wanted to include it in a song, and I felt like it really kind of captured the vibe of the music there. So
I think so.
Hopefully
I
we
love
don't get
listening to
sued.
that song.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's not a song that people usually listen to, so thanks.
It's like the least one.
Yeah, that means that you actually tried to listen to the album, so most people don't do that.
Can I ask? Because I didn't clock that it was Werner Herzog.
Yeah.
Which movie?
Oh God, it's
What
a
is it?
movie about I believe it was in Kuwait. Do you know the name of the film? It was like the war. I believe it was like the
Yes,
Gulf War.
the Gulf War.
And
I
there
know
was
the one you're talking about.
The oil fields, yeah, they were just burning them, and it was
Yeah.
like irreparable damage
Yeah.
to the ecosystem. It
Yeah,
is. It looks alien. It looks like it was shot on Mars. It's
It's-
just unbelievable.
Werner Herzog is amazing.
Yes.
He's
Lessons of Darkness.
Yes.
That's the one. Yes. But
awesome.
it's
you
really
should.
good.
That
Yes.
and Grizzly Man.
Yeah, great. We have a song about Grizzly Man.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
And Cave
Go
of
way
Forgotten
back.
Dreams.
Yeah.
I wrote a 10-page paper about Cave of Forgotten Dreams, and I had so much fun doing it. So I can only imagine.
There's just
what,
so much you can tap into.
Yeah, I can only
Herzog,
imagine
yeah.
what sampling Werner was like. That's awesome. That's
Hopefully.
sick.
Our projector show.
Yeah, we were gonna sample. We weren't able to get the projector going tonight, but
Yeah.
we use a Lessons of Darkness, the same sample from
Oh,
Through White. That's the song, Through White Noise.
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, so
catch you at a show.
right.
Yeah.
Right. On that note, you guys made an infomercial to go along with your EP.
You guys did your homework.
Which
I feel like this is Nardwuar.
that's what I aspire to be.
Yeah.
The infomercial was very well shot and
Oh, thank
very, very funny. What was the process of recording this like, and how did you guys even come up with this idea?
Well, me and Jonah work together, and we kind of have a plethora of gear at our disposal as far as like audio and video equipment.
Okay.
And we have a coworker, Dan, who's like always like egging us on to like, we got to shoot like some Saturday Night Live crap or like,
Weekend update type
yeah,
stuff.
he's always wanted to do that. So we're like, well, we got this album coming out and we got to do some promo for it.
We were kind of inspired by like the like the Billy Mays era, ShamWow era
Yeah.
type, like crazy, like in your face infomercial type stuff. Like, wow, you gotta try this product out.
And Dan is so like,
Charismatic. and-
he's like effortlessly, no, he's like really effortlessly a sleazeball.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's just a snake oil salesman. So like he was a perfect guy for it. And I don't know, he's super like, I don't know. I can't swear. So
That's hilarious.
Oh, wait, we got one for the dolphin noise.
he's just like naturally in the best way possible. Like I think he would take that as a compliment. I mean it in the most endearing way. So like he nailed that like sort of like Billy Mays.
Yeah.
Sorry, I so
Yeah.
fucking swore again.
We scripted it out in like an hour, and we just kind of we just
wow.
put like a prompter type thing in for like made like a
Yeah.
a Word doc in front of him so he could read off of it, and we brought in physical copies of stuff to the studio, if you will, and got really good close-up shots.
The gin at the beginning is not gin, unfortunately. That's water.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Peter dumping water on his head.
Gin is expensive.
I know,
can't
yeah.
blame you for that one.
Speaking of the physical copies being on the infomercial, Only Momentary and also Feel It Float have very like colorful, textured covers. How did you guys come up with this? What was the process like, especially compared to the things you've released in the past?
This is
Yeah.
a great plug right here.
Yeah, so we didn't come up with it ourselves. found a artist, like a painter in the DC area.
Through a grindcore band called Yautja.
Yeah.
We really like the
Shout
artwork he
out.
did for this sludge grind band out of Nashville.
Yeah. Yeah, and we really loved it was like a hand painted thing, and I had the vinyl in my hands, and I was like, God, this looks so good. So I just like looked at who painted this, and I'm like, well, shot in the dark, I'll just email him or like Instagram DM him
Yeah.
and see if he'd be interested in painting for us. So I sent him our music, and I sent him a DM like, hey, would you be interested? And we could commission you to paint,
Yeah.
what you hear with these songs.
That
and he's
is
like,
so
yeah,
cool.
I love it. Let's do it. So we had him do 2 artworks, and I gave him like really vague instructions, and he just he did his thing, and he is just so good.
Yep.
His name's Brandon Guertz. He's incredibly talented.
Nailed it.
Yeah, he just did really good.
Almost no prompting whatsoever.
Those are
we
always the best.
Yeah, we just sent him the masters, and he did entirely his own thing.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, we loved it. I mean, you got a poster, right? And a lighter. And I
Oh,
also got
nice.
a lighter, too. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to hang that poster up.
Cool.
All right, guys. Do you have any upcoming releases, shows, merch, or other news that everybody should be on the lookout for?
We have a single coming out October 18th called The Problem. We played that one tonight.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah, that one's been in the works for a long time, so excited to finally get it out into the world. No hand-painted artwork this time. It's a photo that
Hey.
I took.
That's
So it's
still
not
cool.
nearly as exciting, but yeah. Do you want to add anything?
New merch. We just remade a bunch of lighters, and we're going to reprint a bunch of shirts because we made too many smalls and mediums. Nobody wants those. We're getting a bunch more larges and extra larges made.
gotcha.
Yeah, we sold out of the larges and extra larges immediately, and that was a bad choice.
And I was thinking about personally making a limited run of hoodies and hats.
Ooh.
So
I love me a hoodie.
yeah, so
It'll be $50.
no, they won't be that expensive. The maybe I don't know $30 range for a hoodie or something, which is a good deal these
We're
days.
trying to keep it affordable.
Yeah, hats will be cheap.
Gotta
so.
stay warm in these Buffalo winters.
True.
Honestly. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for talking to us. It's been Olivia,
And Charlie.
and we'll catch you guys in the next interview.
All right, thank you.